Hello, good evening. Welcome to a very, very special hour. You're going to love this. A brand new of New Today's one-day special from Studio Light. This really is the most beautiful, serene, stop, think, reflect, take time kind of collection. A brand new collection designed by the amazing Jenine at Studio Light, and her creations really are, they're so on par. And you're going to want everything that is on this show, by the way. The one-day special, they are here, and we'll go through those very, very shortly, but you are going to want everything that is there on your TV screen right now. We will make all of that possible with the one and only Lou Withers with us as well. Could only be, couldn't it, Hannah, my darling?
I'm good, are you?
I'm good, and it feels a bit weird to us, by the way, this hour, doesn't it? Yes. Because there is a show for this one-day special which goes out at 8 o'clock, but we won't physically actually be here because we've already recorded it this afternoon. It's all very, very bizarre. So we've done all this once all
like
over before.
Groundhog Day, isn't it?
Yeah, and you will definitely, this show will have a very different feel to the 8 o'clock show as well. I'm just going to say that right now, so make sure that you are here. Because the craft store have very, very kindly said, right, OK, want everyone who wants to go and you-know-what at 8 o'clock can go and you-know-what at 8 o'clock, and the rest of us get to do whatever we want as well. But we've still got the show here for you as well, which is brilliant. Right, OK, so the complete collection I'm going to have on the bottom of the screen all of the time for you right now. Bear in mind, that's not the price if you're a Freedom member. If you're a Freedom member, the complete, like everything you see in this brand new collection, can be yours for less than £100, which is superb. Let's start at the beginning and bear with me, and I'm going to ask you not to place your order until I've gone through absolutely everything. Barring those people who want to look at 12 by 12 papers, because I've got such limited stock of those individually. So if you're thinking that you might want some 12 by 12 papers individually, I'd go grab them right now. So start at the beginning with the one-day special from Studio Light. And this is superb. Now, it comes in two options. We've got top row, bottom row. Let's start at the top, which is musical mindfulness. See, those two words straight away kind of conjure up images, Lou, don't they?
Yep, I've got certain, like, operatic arias in my head. As soon as I hear that, and I know where the place is, it's just like that, instant.
It's going to take you back as well, actually. So the one-day specials, they're made up of two stamp sets, a set of dies and a set of 8 by 8 papers. Whichever of the options you take in the one-day special, it's a different paper pad, which is brilliant. Of course, you get both if you're going to go for the complete collection. So musical mindfulness, I was saying earlier, when on first glance here, there's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of serenity, a little bit of sophistication, a little bit of look back. But for me, the biggest standout for me is the amount of space for you to actually think and work. And that's what mindful is all about. You'll see in the 8 o'clock show, by the way, we've just passed a paper which Lou, well, this kind of style here with like a woven look to it, Lou will do a big, fantastic demo for you in the 8 o'clock show. Don't show them. Don't show them.
Can't show you.
Let it be a surprise for 8 o'clock. That's the reason to come back at 8 o'clock, isn't it?
Actually, yeah, you're right.
Because it's a really lovely hour as well, actually. It will disappear before you know it. Here are the two stamp sets stamped out. There's also a fabulous die set that goes with those. Now, your one-day special is £28.96 with a £10 saving. Shall I quickly just show you the die set in this as well? Because I want to kind of, although the one-day special is special, I almost want to whiz through these quite quickly and get you to the whole collection. Not for any other reason that they go together so beautifully. And once we start thinking of all of this... Now, Lou thought this was a belt earlier. Oh, I know. Because it does look a bit like a belt, doesn't it?
I thought, I can't believe that. I know, I thought, well, how did they put a belt on this?
I know.
It doesn't look right now.
And it's not, because it's musical mindfulness. It's a, what did we say it was? Flute. It's a flute, isn't it?
It's a belt. I can't believe it.
It's not a belt. Not a belt. But it can be a belt if you want it to be. Oh. Janine's never going to forgive you for that.
No, I know.
And so that's option number one, which is musical mindfulness. At the bottom there, at the bottom, which is usually where the bottom is.
At the bottom there, at the bottom.
At the bottom. This is Chrysalis Creations.
Oh, it's going to be one of them, is it?
So a different paper pad for this one, which I'll take you through extremely quickly. because it is very, very nice indeed. Beautiful. Again, lots and lots of serenity, lots and lots of different images, gorgeous florals. Again, look at the space that you've got there, and that is space for your mind to wander into, because mindful is all about taking time, and it's all about, I mean, look at how inspiring is that, by the way, with the sunset. How amazing is that? Sunset or sunrise? Could be either, couldn't it? Really, really lovely. Just, you know, magical spaces for you to move within. Stay there if you will, because I'll show you the stamp sets that come with this as well. So you've got one which is, again, perfect serenity with florals and lovely silhouettes. And then the other stamp set in this is a little bit like sort of vintage postmarks, which, I mean, I absolutely love. It's sort of a nod back to time. So it could be, you know, you use that for sort of travel journal, just memories or things that are about to happen in the future as well. Very, very nice. There's also a die set which goes with that. Shall I bring that to this? Would that help? Just for time. Because they're almost like little pages. And they're little pages that you can kind of make tags out of. That's the shape that they come out. So they go into those, you know, those sort of rolly filing systems that we used to have. They sort of go into that kind of caper, don't they, Lou? Yeah,
I think we are memory keepers doing, but you can also get a roller disc, and this is what they look like with different cards. So, yeah, bunting. They work really well for bunting.
Yeah, and tags, we were saying earlier, weren't we?
Yeah.
So that's the second option on the one-day special. It's called Chrysalis Creations, £28.96 with a £10 saving. Now, to get absolutely everything on this show, we take the £10 savings from both of the one-day specials, and then we've got lots of individual bundles here. So we've got the rice papers. I'm going to go to the 12 by 12 papers first, because that's what I have the fewest of available. In fact, half of the individual stock has gone already. So I'm just going to run you through the papers. I think there are 8 designs and 2 of each, if I'm right. Yes, that's right. Double-sided papers. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I mean, again, beautiful. Just wonderful. I mean, look at that full page there. To fussy cut out what we would normally consider as ephemera, so different scales. You've got ATC size, similar size there as well, which is really lovely. Again, something nice and blank for a big page there. They are beautiful. Now, if you want those individually, we've got the details on the screen at the moment, £12.92. I would be grabbing those really, really quickly, because I'm telling you now, out of the entire 24 hours, they're going to be the first thing to sell out. In fact, 60% of that stock has now gone. So literally, individually, we are going to be saying goodbye to that probably within the next 4 or 5 minutes, I would say. I'm just thinking out loud. And then the only place to get them will be the entire collection. 80% now, so just jumped up from 60 to 80% on the 12 by 12 papers. Right, talking of papers, should we go rice papers next? Because these are all new, by the way, from Studio Light. They're absolutely stunning. The rice papers are gorgeous. I know Lou's had a great time with those. Yeah. So 12 sheets on this one. So sorry, why am I turning that around? They're single, so of course rice paper's never going to be double-sided, is it, Derek?
You never know.
Well, you know, maybe
know.
one day. So 12 sheets here. The quality feels amazing.
Yes.
You've got that little piper there as a kind of statue. You could turn that into a water feature, couldn't you? You could have water coming out of the pipe if you wanted to.
You could make that absolutely anything. All these, couldn't you? You could just glue that down on a piece of paper.
Yes.
It'd be finished, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and you'd feel well impressed with yourself, wouldn't you?
You would.
I love them. They're really, really beautiful. They are brand new today. The £6 saving, by the way, that we've got on these, because they are brand new. We're carrying that across to the complete collection as well. So the item number for that, 039317. Oh, I've got news. It's going to be a quick show, this one. Let me tell you. 10 minutes in, the 12 by 12 paper's gone. It wasn't even 3 or 4 minutes. It was literally within the minute, wasn't it? That's gone. Right, so the only place now to get the 12 by 12 papers is within the complete collection. Now, there's a good time, because we'll go through the individual bundles that there are, but it's a good time, I think, to talk about the entire collection, don't you think? Because Freedom members, you can have this for less than £100, because what we've done is we've taken both of the savings from the one-day special, the saving from the rice papers, the savings from the other bundles that we've got here, put them all together, £44 saving, and basically, for you, if you're a Freedom member, it is less than £100. If you're not a Freedom member, it's a why not, because the savings will cover your Freedom membership, and then you can say postage, I don't do postage, darling. That's it. I'm a Freedom member. Thank you very much. For the rest of the month, I'll be ordering as much as I like and not paying 1 penny in postage. Thank you very much. The complete. I'm just going to do a quick, Marcus, if that's okay. Just a very, very quick whistle stop. What you get in the complete collection is all of the rice papers, stencils that you haven't seen yet, I know, as well. There's loads of stencils down there with a mini journal. You've got both of your one-day specials, so that's 2 8x8s, 4 stamp sets, 2 sets of the dies there. You also get, there's a book of pop-out ephemera there for you and a book of stickers with sentiments. We'll go through all those later. Below that, you've got your stencil alphabets. Again, they're brand new. We'll talk about those in the savings a little bit later. There's another 8x8 paper pad down there that we haven't seen yet. Plus, you'll get the 12x12 papers. You will get all of that. Can I just say, if I hold my arms open wide like that, everything you've got going on there, if you all walk... Oh, that's right, we didn't even have it all in, did we? But now we do. If you were going into a craft-type store and you were being offered all of this for £99.12 and Mark you can split that into 3 payments if you're a Freedom member as well. You would definitely go for that. A simple 8x8 paper pad, you know that could be, what, 10, 12, 15 pounds? Could be, couldn't it? And you've got kind of loads of those going on across this, and it's all under £100. You will want it. So there are the details. That's why I was saying hold off before you order. You can, of course, split that down, which is brilliant. The first of 3 flexis on a Freedom member is £33.04. I'm talking to Freedom members, and listen, don't feel left out if you're not one, because for this, just become one. It's a why not. Right, let me take you through some of the other goodies that are brand new in the show from Studio Light. These are amazing. And I know Lou's going to have great fun with these over the next 24 hours because you've got stencils and you've got a journal to go at as well. And the journal's really, really cool. I love it. Really, really lovely. Lou's already had a little play with these. So I'm just going to show you because they are wonderful. They really, really are wonderful. And they allow you to completely give them a personality. Have fun with them. I mean, look at these. This is my favourite of these because this has like a dry stone wall stencil on one side and then like a really rough and ready brick wall with real texture, with real personality on the other side. Lou, that's a dream, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Any colours that. It changes your perspective totally when you're using different colours.
I just love it.
There's loads of little elements on that. You know, you see there's so many separate elements.
Musical notes, window, sunshine, flora and fauna. You've got musical scores. There's all sorts going on in that. Bit of mandala. Yeah, absolutely. It's all going on. And that's the stencils. But look at this journal. This is so cool. So it's a mini journal. It's cracking this. It's got a little touch fastening. And you get on all the papers. You get those as well. You get 5 of the craft card, 5 of the black, and is it 15 of the white? So you get pages already in there. How cute is that? 300 GSM, and it's the same quality paper that we always have. It's awesome. Now, so the 3 sets of stencils there, and the journal, £21.96. Of course, we've taken that £8 saving and we whipped that into the complete for you. Yeah, absolutely. I've pinched every saving there is on these smaller bundles and taken that to the complete. Because I have to say, even as a baby steps crafter, and I haven't yet ventured into Studio Light at all, I would definitely go for all of this for the price that it is, under £100, because it's so joyful. And I really, really urge you, if you're watching us on the 6 o'clock show on the Sunday, I really urge you to come and watch the show that we've already made that will go out at 8 o'clock on Sunday evening and throughout the night, because it's really, honestly, we go in lots of different directions in that show. It's like being at home and having a chat and yeah. And we really get time. We really get time, let me tell you, to be mindful in our 8 o'clock show. It's really, really good. OK, where are we jumping to next? Let's go over here, shall we? This is one of my favourites as well. So, 2 elements to this. First element is, on first glance, it almost looks like a paper pad, and then you realise, actually, it's little pop-out die cuts of stuff, Lou, isn't it? Yeah, stuff which is relevant to this collection. Yeah, and there's no white edges on it, and it's all cut
cut before colour so that you don't get all that. And if there is, you can just file them off, but little pips hold them in.
There really they are, look.
Yeah, there, yes.
Oh, see, now that doesn't look like a flute anymore, does it?
It's not a belt, that, is it?
No, it's not a belt, no. It's that small, medium,
I can't
large.
believe I even thought that. Yeah.
There's so much to go at in this. I love it. I think it's so yummy and scrummy, and that's only one of the 2 elements, because you also get, and these are really, really good.
Yeah, these are good.
You get the sticker book as well. So you've got letters, of course, which will match up with the black and the craft card from the mini journal as well, if you want to. And then you've got a whole load of sentiments that I'm sure that you will not have seen. I say sentiments, they're kind of quotes, really, aren't they, more than sentiments?
Yeah.
Mines are like parachutes. They only function when they're open. That's a good one, isn't it? I love that. It's really, really cool, isn't it? When nothing goes right, go left. That's a good one. Just take the first step. I think you used that one in the 8 o'clock show, didn't you? Yeah, just take the first step. If you can't think of a reason to continue, it's time to start over. Anyway, there's loads of those in there. So you get the ephemera, the pop-out ephemera book, and the sticker book there, £11.48 with the item number there, 208730. I've pinched the saving from that as well. I'll take the £4 saving before that disappears, thank you. We'll put that into the complete collection. Then we've got the final bundle, which is the stencils and the 8x8 paper pack. Oh yeah, I forgot they go together, because I always have in my mind that at that price I should only get the stencils. I'm like, I've already done this show once and I still can't get that into my head. With this you get the 2 alphabet stencils, and they're so good, because if you look at how interesting the font is, it's really, isn't it? It's just right for the feeling of the whole collection, Lou, isn't it?
Yeah, and you get upper and lower case, which is even better. But you can make these as much as you want and interchange them as well. So you could have different fonts. I love that, being able to sort of cut it down if you want, or using it as lines to keep your lettering straight.
Oh, that's a point, actually. I'd forgotten about. Yeah, actually, I hadn't even noticed that at all. It's really good. And can I just say, you're not going to believe this.
Yeah, it's good, this one.
Because the 2 stencils there, this is, you'll understand why now. I'm thinking, OK, £17.97 for the 2 stencils. Brilliant. OK, and when I say 8x8 papers, I don't just mean paper. No. I mean, look. I mean, hello. Look. I mean, there's a selection of vellums in there as well, with the script, with the music. I mean, that... Look at how serene those just look back to back.
Yeah, with the butterflies. I know.
I just love it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so you've got some vellums there. You've got some with nice big quotes on them as well, which mirror the sticker book. And then we do also have some more papers there, so more ephemera in the 8x8. But, you know, same kind of images that were in the pop-up pack. But these you can cut out, use together, tear them out. You've got some ATC size images there as well. There's lots to go at. Isn't it beautiful? And how isn't that £17.97 on its own, I'm asking? Do you know what I mean? But you get that and the 2 stencils there, 327,369. I'm just going to pinch that. Sorry, I'm just going to pinch that £6 saving. Thank you. I'll have that for the complete collection as well. And that means that you can get, and again, I'm just going to do it again very, very quickly. Sorry, Katie, I'm just going to do it one more time. So it's the rice papers, and it's the stencils with the journal, and it's both of the one-day specials, and it's the ephemera and the stickers, and it's the stencils and the 8x8 with the vellums in it, and the 12x12 papers, the only way you can get the 12x12 papers. All of that in one complete collection for less than £100 if you're a Freedom member. Break it down into 3 flexes. Seriously, if you're not one, and you want this, become one, because as you will learn between this and the 8 o'clock hour coming up later, it's like I'm not seeing into the future, but we've already recorded the show for 8 o'clock, so we could all go off and you know, for those people who want to go and see whatever's happening in the world at 8 o'clock can go and do that. And I can tell you, between this and the 8 o'clock show, you are honestly going to take some time out for yourself, and I think it will seriously. It'll help. It'll help turn that corner from, is craft just a thing to do, as something to achieve? It's like I have to sort of, reach a certain level of competency or whatever. Is that what craft is all about? By 9 o'clock, you know what? You'll think about your crafting in a completely different way. I can promise you that. OK, stock. Now, we're launching now at 6 o'clock on Sunday evening. Where are we? Right. We're 20 minutes in and we're over 20% of the entire day's stock sold out and gone. We've already said hello and goodbye to the 12 by 12 papers on their own. The only way of getting those now is in one of the complete collections. We've already pre-recorded the show for 8 o'clock. So we better go on with it, hadn't we? I think, quite frankly, we better just get on with it, I think. Now, one thing I want to show you, and you can shop ahead on the website of us, for us as well, to see all the individuals, but we have got the stamp press. So I'm just going to show you the image of the stamp press, because it is the one that Lou will be using if she's stamping. Don't forget, just a reminder, we have got extended delivery, because, of course, Studio Light, of course, comes from Oi Oi. It comes from the Netherlands, of course. Our friends.
What does that mean, oi oi?
It means hello in Dutch.
Oh, right.
Oi oi. I used to work in Holland for about a year, about 3,000 years ago, and loved it. And whenever you say hello, it's oi oi. 23rd of July, everything on the show will go out for you as well, which is not that long at all. I have no idea what the date is today, to be honest with you, but hey, 11th. Well, listen, that's hardly any time to wait. So lovely, Lou. Sorry, I've taken up 21 minutes so far. But you know how much I love this.
Considering what you've had to go through, I think you've done really well.
You know how much I love this.
Yes, actually, we had a great show before. It was so nice and meaningful and mindful, and it was just. I hope you enjoy it, because it was nice. How can you put it? It was nice to just do that, and it was like we were sat in someone's house having a chat and just working together. In fact, if Derek had a little table there, he could have done that. But and you get.
If we'd have had two big armchairs, well, listen, Lou's talking about it like it's happened in the past, which for us it has, but for you it's not been on the telly yet.
No,
that's at 8 o'clock tonight. So please come back, and if you don't get a chance, if you're off watching something else at 8 o'clock, definitely. Make a date to watch one of the repeats overnight, or watch it on rewind, because it's honestly one of the loveliest hours I think I've ever done.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really loved it.
Right, darling, what are we doing first for this one?
Well, I've got the papers, and this is the hardest part about this, is choosing which do I want to use, which don't I want to use, because I love this side, but then I love these. Yeah. So, you know, you've got to. I think you've got two of them anyway. So just look at what you will use, and then make the decision, and don't fret too much, because you have got to. But just want to show you that all the backgrounds for these and all the colours are reflected in the paper pads, and also in the stamps, in everything. All these frames, you'll get them again. So if you are a bit, I don't want to use that, then please don't worry. You'll have another one there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 12 by 12, and I'm just going to fold this in half. I know it's double-sided. Oh, before I forget, I've taken off the little tabs. The little tabs, right, I keep. It's a printing thing, but I just think these are so handy, because what I do is I look at these and I think, right, these are the colours now that'll come along, and I'll get my ink pads and I'll go, right, that makes sense, that's too bright. And these really help me to influence my ink pads. If you can just see there, I know that all those colours are going to now be in with that. So I think that's a really good point if you're a little bit stuck with what colours to use. And there's a little way of dealing with them if they're a little bit too bright. So I've got this now. Now you can do this, you can keep it like this if you want. You can do a full page or half a page. I want to do a sort of half a page with a tuck. So I'm just going to go like that. Okay. Now, always when I'm doing any work whatsoever, I do what we call a double crease. And I have got a bone folder, and it's important to use one. And the reason we do that is so that the actual piece of paper lies flat both ways, because what you're doing is you're pushing the weight to one side, and if it's going against the grain, you need to push it to the other side as well, because paper does have a grain. And the way you can tell the grain is which is more resistance. Right, the grain, see, it's easier to do that than it is to do that.
Do you know, I never knew that.
Yeah, and once you get to realise, oh, well, that's why it's not working. So what you can do is either leave this on as a tip-in, so we've got this in the background, or, you know, or use it as take that off and have it for something else. But I quite like the idea of working on two, so it's like a middle, like a join in the middle. So I'm going to take it off for now, but you don't have to. You really don't have to. Now use your guillotine any way you want. This has luckily got a line on it, so that does help. But
is that your portable guillotine there?
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's very small.
Very tiny. Very tiny. Well, what you do get in this is you get these great little index, but they're great for bunting. But if you don't want this edge on them, if you put them in the die cutting machine just out of there, like that, they don't cut it. They just cut the edge. So you get a little book with this. Yeah. And if you want to do the same with all of them, you can actually just put that in there and it'll die cut that edge. I mean, I can try it if you want, or I can just get on with this. But I've done it to show you how it looks. It looks stunning. So I did this before, and this is out of green tealy cardstock, which goes with that. And it goes with the green in the paper. So if I wanted to add this into the middle as a little tag in my book, I could. So when you're doing a journal page, what you have to think is, what do you want to do? How do you want to look? So I've already established I've got a range of colours that I quite like together. So I quite like them. And now I'm going to pick the other bits. Now, this is the hardest bit because there isn't a duff one in there. There isn't.
No, there really isn't.
You know, you get some and you're like, oh, I won't use that. Oh, no, I won't use that. Even the waist in one of them, these butterflies. So I've got some papers. Now, I'm going to keep the writing because I want to keep that as a main point. This is not coated, so you can use it and paint with it. So I'm going to look at these and think, do I want to be just sort of like collage effect, or do I want it to have sort of a theme? And I quite like the idea of a theme. And you can mix them up. You can even mix your other papers, because if you look at this one here, just that one on its own is beautiful. Yeah. When you forget that,
yeah, it's very atmospheric,
exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So it totally looks different. So
like winter mist, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, and look at it like that as well. So that is a page in its own right if I wanted to. Yeah, yeah. That is a totally different look.
Yes.
So bear that in mind when you're looking for it. But this is brilliant if you wanted to do this. So that atmospheric idea gives me an idea for this. I quite like the idea of nature and everything. So first thing you do is I'm going to use some rice papers. I'm going to build up everything now. Yeah. And I'm just going to, with water, just paint round that edge.
Do you know, that's also your choice of how to do it is also going to be dictated to how you actually feel at the time, because feeling is very much part and very much, it's very instrumental and very key to this particular collection as well. It's been called mindful art for a reason. And actually let it take you on a journey and take it on a journey.
I can't tell you how good that sounds, because that's what it's about. We, as I said, you know, I've spoken previously to you and we both discussed this, that we get too bogged down by this is how you do it, this is what you do. And to me, that you lose the entire enjoyment. Well, the minute you do that, it's the time to stop. Yeah. Because you're not going to enjoy it, then what's the point? Because that's what you're supposed to do with this, enjoy it. It's not a task. Yeah. You know, and if you want to do a copy of a card, that's great, but just let it go. Just go with it. Yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using, I won't waste this paper at all, believe you me. But I really like this, whether I use that and that, but I've got the paper back. So I like, you know, it doesn't matter what you do with these, that this is all going to go together.
See, this looks great already, doesn't it? Can I just say to you, you cannot, one way or the other, record it, tape it, go back, watch it later, whatever, be there at the time, up to you. But please don't miss the show at 8 o'clock. And I'm not saying that just because it's us. I'm not that vain and big-headed at all. It's just that we put the world to rights, don't we, in that show?
Do you remember Sissy and Ada?
Yeah, yeah.
You really can't do it. I'll do it for both of us.
We really do have a we put the world to rights, don't we?
So what I've done is I've sort of, if you're doing this at home and you want to sort of look at your layout, get your phone out, take a picture, because more often than not this will blow off or something, and I'll go, oh, what did it look like?
Yeah, you forget.
And then what I'm going to do is what I did before. I've got my colours. I'm going to use more or less every stamp. Now you're thinking, whoa, that's way too many. But it actually isn't, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do second generation. Again, second generation is not as heavy as first. So I don't want this to be sort of lost. I want it to be brought together with this. Now, the reason I've picked this colour, well, oh, there it is, yeah, is because this has got a tealy feel in the writing. So I've got the colours from the paper, but I've also got an accent colour. And when you're working with colours, it should be around about 60, 30, 10. 60 of a main, 30 of a contrast, and 10 of an accent. And if you do it like that, it won't go wrong. Oh, I'm being a bit too tight here, blooming neck. But something else I must say about these stamps is I don't think people realise just how delicate this is until you see it stamped on white. It's just so beautifully delicate. Yeah. And if you do it in similar there we go. Do it in similar. I can't speak similar colours to the papers. It won't stand out. It won't be over the top. If you start doing it in contrasting colours, then you want it to be the main focal point. At the moment, I don't. And it doesn't look like it's invading that at all. And again, you mentioned space. That's something that this is very, very important. If you're going to do journaling, space is important. So what I'm going to do, I love this little idea of tags of where you've been, and just I'm not stamping the whole thing. I'm just going to get it the right way. I love these by Phil. And I'm just going to do these so you can just see.
Oh, yeah.
Just see the cart postal at the top.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep the colour, but I'm going to bring it down a little bit now. So what I'm going to do is a darker green.
See, it now looks like a very, very aged document, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm going to use it. People are frightened of using the papers as a starting point. We're a bit caught up in the idea of a white page. I said it before.
Yes.
But there we've got the green coming in now. And remember, don't forget, we've got elements coming over this, but we need some stuff here. So I'm thinking, right, well, don't forget that. Actually, I'll keep that on. I'll bring some yellow down here. Now, using this, just be careful because, excuse me 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to use my pants, but I won't do that. I'm with Derek. I normally go like that. on the trousers, but I'm going to use the same colours. Now, don't be frightened of colour. This is a really bright yellow, but the yellow is reflected in these little foxing. This is foxing. Talking about it before. So,
yes.
There we go. It's now brought it out. It still looks a bit stripy, but then we go in with another colour. Maybe we'll go in with a brown.
I think as well, Lou, because you have got two of, if you've got the papers, because you've got two of each, you could always sit the one that you haven't done anything with on one side and then see the journey.
Absolutely. That's such a good idea.
You can see how far you've come.
Absolutely. And it's a bit like anything, you don't see change until you see comparison.
Yeah.
So here, now I've gone from the opposite now and I've gone in with a darker focal point so that all those colours are coming together now in the middle. So that's a lot to deal with, I know, but it actually, I know what I need. I need to do the same thing with a bit of this, but I don't want it to be straight. Well, don't want it to be sort of perfect. I just want, and that's a nice thing about these stamps is take them off. Yeah. Take them off the block. Yeah. Use them willy-nilly. Right, I'm happy with that. So now what I've got is I've got the background. That does not go on that one at all. I'm a so-and-so for that, putting wrong lids on. I end up like, why does that come out green? Because I put a green lid on a yellow one. Right, here. Okay, really liking that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to pop him on. Won't take me a minute, I'm not going to spend all day gluing. But what I do want to do is, I want to sort of thin this down with a little bit of water. Make sure that you've got glue brushes at home, seriously, because don't use good brushes for glue because it doesn't matter how much you get out. It's like at home with emulsion. You never get it out of that bottom bit.
Oh, so you have a big old set of different sizes, but just for glue, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise you'd mess around, you'd be here for ages, wouldn't you, just trying to stick that down with a tiny brush. But yeah, I tend to make sure that I stick relatively as much as I can to the set I've got for glue. Right, I'm just going to put that down, and then the important thing is from the middle out, push out. The reason you do that is you don't get air bubbles then. So leave that there. That will you can either tuck it under or bring it into another part. So there, I've got that. Now I add another little bit that I'm going to put up here. Now you might not have watercolours at home, but you could use any paint. Now I'm putting a bit on the back to show you that you can do this way. And the reason why you might want to do it this way is that if you've used an ink that is water soluble,
yeah,
then putting it on the paper won't be putting it on the, it'll sort of disturb the inks less.
Ah, okay.
So just brush it out from the middle out.
Oh, see, I love it. It's only rice paper that can do this, isn't it? That
There
can
is.
give you that seamless blend. I mean, that's a
Absolutely.
reasonable distance. The camera is away.
Yep.
But you know what? It's like a seamless blend. It's like we could stop there and we'd be done.
Yep, you could.
I know you won't, but like you could at that point, you could stop and you could go, you know what? I'm really happy with that. Again, compare it to the original paper, and you just go, wow, that's quite a journey already.
Well, that's it. And think if you sort of start ripping the papers up, you start to see your papers in a different way. Like this is from the top, but I like it better down here because it seems to fit better. So I've got a nice viewpoint now. So what I'm going to do is just glue that down. I always say to myself, don't cut it now, and then I end up cutting it, and it always leave it till it's dry.
Yeah.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some watercolour. Now you can use this anyway. You can use watercolours, pens, anything you want, as long as it's a water-soluble thing. So I'm going to use some paints because I've got them here. But if you've got distress inks, it works as well. I'm just going to bring my paints in. It could be my paints. I use these as well. And you can use these, which I'll show you as well. So there's different ways, but I'll show you this.
This is what I absolutely love about you, because you come out with your paints come out and away you go, and you think, how on earth what's she going to come up with now? It's like a box of tricks, that, isn't it? If you join Lou, she does lots of online shows very regularly. Mindful Moodling. Go and find Lou and go and join her for some mindful moodling, because it keys in really, really nice. It gives you nice ideas as well along the way. Because I think actually a mindful anything, you are the best person to walk us through it, because actually you give us the freedom to go, do you know what?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just
have fun, enjoy it, laugh, cry, do everything that you need to.
That's the one thing we don't do. We don't allow ourselves. It's like when you're having a rubbish day. You're allowed to have a rubbish day.
Yeah.
What I've done is, it's bright now. It's really bright and it looks too intense. But what I've done is you sort of put the paint down, and as it soaks in, I can get another layer on that. And it's only brought up this because it's wet. Once that's dry, the water evaporates out of and you won't see it. So what I'm going to do is put some blue in now. And the reason I put blue in is so that I bring this colour in. And all I'm doing is using my glue brush, because it's a rubbishy brush, and I'm just going to bring in, and I'm using just the edge. Ah. And it's giving it...
Oh, and that's a bit tealy, that blue as well, is it?
Yeah, so you're getting the edge now, and that now looks like it's part of the paper. So don't be frightened, use a brush. If you do use it for glue, keep it for glue, but then it's really good for adding texture. So I've got that there, and I'm adding it across here just to darken this, and it will dry a lot lighter. But now we've got like a mountaintop, so I need to I tend to think that if you on purpose, if you want it only on one side, that's great, but I think this is a little bit heavy to just leave it there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some green. Now I'm going over 3 or 4 colours, putting them on here. I know they're going to work with this because I have tried them. So my advice would be always try them first. get a little swatch, start to look, and then they do actually dry really prettily. So we've got that, we've got the stamps. It's starting to look like an hillside. Don't forget, it's actually going to be
a page.
A page.
Now,
so.
Lou, can we just take a tiny,
yes,
just a tiny pause,
yes,
and carry
please.
on by all means?
No,
but
no.
we take a tiny pause there.
Yeah.
One, because I want to tell you about a wonderful email that's just come in from Rachel, who has said it's fabulous to see Lou. She's such an inspiration, which is
thank you,
very,
Rachel.
very lovely. Thank you for joining us tonight, Rachel, and everyone who is joining us. Don't forget, of course, we have a separate hour, even though we're not going to be physically here at 8 p.m. We've recorded a show for 8 p.m, so it is a brand new show, and it's a really different vibe as well. Very chilled, very relaxed. If you want that complete escape from everything else that's going on and you can't bear to watch it while it's happening, come and join us at 8 o'clock because you will have such a zen time, I'm telling you now. You really will. Let's talk about what we've got in our complete collection here, which is absolutely awesome. Don't forget, of course, you can break that down into 3 flexes. If you're a Freedom member, it comes in under £100, which is really, really good. Right, shall we go through everything that's in the complete collection, because then I can talk to you about how we make the saving on the overall complete. Let's start with the one-day special. The one-day special comes in 2 different options. So top row here, which is the paper pad, Music Mindfulness. It's the 8x8 paper pad. It's the 2 stamp sets, which are very, very different as well. One's got a very, very kind of organic feel. You've got the olives in there, the butterflies and the flora and fauna, and then that wonderful musical score, which you can use in many, many different ways, as Lou's just shown us. And then you've got the die set, which includes the flute. There is a musical score there going off on its own little merry way. In fact, if I just shift that out of the way, you can see it's almost in the shape of a saxophone. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. And Lou will tell us about her saxophone experience in the 8 o'clock show, as I remembered. So that one-day special has a £10 saving on it. But there are 2 options on the one-day special. So I'm also taking the £10 saving from the second option on the one-day special, which is Chrysalis Creations. Again, a different 8x8 paper pad. You've got the 2 stamp sets, one which is very, very florally, very flowing, very fluid, and then you've got those kind of vintage postmark stamps as well. Plus, you've also got the die set, which is the lovely tags, which you can make into buntings. You can make those into sort of roller tags as well. You know, there's sort of roller systems. They might well also slip into they might be the right size for slipping into the rings of your Happy Planner as well, if you've got one of those. I'm just saying, I'm just thinking whether that's a thing. If not, you could stick it on as tags, couldn't you? Just thinking. So, one-day special, £28.96. Remember, gets you an 8x8 paper pad, different in the 2 options, 2 different stamp sets, and the die set. Going out for you on the 23rd of July, because, of course, it's from from the Netherlands. So we'll take both of the £10 savings from both of the one-day specials. Thank you very much. I'll keep that for the complete collection. Next, we will go to the rice papers. Everything's new today from Studio Light, by the way. To go with this collection, this is Janine's New Awakening Mindful Art collection. Here are the rice papers, and they are just divine. Absolutely divine. I mean, who doesn't love seeing a kingfisher? You can only in real life see one for, what, 2 or 3 seconds, and then off it goes to do its thing. 12 designs and 12 sheets. I mean, I love this. These could be sort of, you know, they could be statues, they could be water fountains. This is very, very musical, isn't it? It's lovely, lovely, lovely. And again, I'll just take you on a quick journey through this. You can see the quality of the rice paper. You can see there's lots of different colour palettes that are all very, very calming as well. They're just beautiful. And lots of space, because that could just be a mindful space, couldn't it? That window, like a window onto the world. It is stunning. I love it. So I'm going to pinch the saving. Thank you very much. I'll have those £6 savings for the complete collection, and I'll take that for you. So that's brand new, 039317. Next, we're going down to the stencils and the journal, because you get, in essence here, you get 6 stencils, really. Well, actually, it's more than 6 as well, really, isn't it? Because you've got the 2 very distinct ones on the left, the sort of mandala-y style. The brickwork ones and the stonework ones, that's 2 very distinct. You could use it as one for a background, but the third one is kind of like, how many elements are in there? There's like mandala, there's swirlies, there's musical notes, there's the window, there's the flora coming down, there's the sunshine, there's just a little bit of absolutely everything going on there. And with that also comes this mini journal as well. Well, I say mini, it's not mini really, it's kind of like photo album size, you know, like it's really, really cool. And inside the journal, your pages are already there. They're already cut, they're already, what's the word, punched. You get 5 of the craft card, 5 of the black and 15 of the white already in here, ready for you to decorate. Of course, the outside is crying out for a rice paper decoration, doesn't it? And a bit of stamping. That would be lovely. That comes with it as well. Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that. £8 saving, thank you. We'll have that for the complete in just a moment. But that's the item number if you want the stencils and the journal. Next, we're going over here for the die-cut ephemera and the sticker book. Again, for this collection, they're absolutely beautiful. Upside down, Derek. More than 500 paper elements in this, and they're all pop-outs as well. So it's very, very easy to get them out straight away. Now, this bundle on its own, 20% of those have already sold out and gone. So lots and lots of ephemera there, and it all pops out. So it's really, really good. Now, apart from that, or as well as that, you've also got the sticker book. And the sticker book is just brilliant. They're black and craft stickers. You've got the, look at that, is that lovely? You probably want to grab an extra one of these bundles if you are going for a one-day special. Even if you're going for the complete collection, just pick up another one of those because you will love them. Again, they don't have any white lines and white edges on them either. I'm not giving up, I'm starting over. Don't put a deadline on your happiness. It's not too late to change direction. Ain't that true? That's a really lovely bundle. Oh, hang on a second. Thank you very much. I'll have that £4 saving for the complete collection. We'll save that in just a second. Then we've got all brand new as well, remember. We've got the new stencils, which are wonderful. And there's an 8x8 paper collection with this. And I don't want to call it a paper pad because it is and it isn't. Because some of it is, some of it's vellum though. I know. Look at this. Look at how super, yum, 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 these vellum pages look. And again, they go completely beautifully with the whole collection. Look, there's a couple of pages full of the big kind of sentiments there as well. Not even sentiments, they're big statements, aren't they? They're power statements, really, aren't they? Not power statements, mindful statements. Every day is a new beginning. What does that one say? A sunrise is God's way of saying, let's start again. And then you've got kind of a replica of the die cuts and the pop-outs, but this time you can fussy cut these ones out. They're on their own individual pages, and some of those pages have like ATC size elements to them as well, which you can pop out for cards and toppers and things like that. I love it. Oh, I'll have that saving as well. Thank you very much. £6 saving into the complete collection. I'd love to show you the 12x12 papers on their own, but that's not a thing anymore, I'm afraid. That's only available. All of these savings, we'll bring those, we'll put those into the main collection, thank you very much. And that means you can have everything that is here in front of me. So the rice papers and the stencils and the journal and both of the one-day specials, the brand new stencils and the 8x8. We've got the ephemera pop-outs and the stickers and the 12x12 papers, the only way of getting them in this collection if you're a Freedom member for less than £100. Thank you very much. And split that down into 3 if you would, please. Split that 3 ways. Split it 3 ways and your first payment is just £33.04. Postage, phooey. If you're not a Freedom member, this is a why not? Why not? Because the saving will pay for the Freedom membership and you will never pay postage for all the rest of the month. It means that you can just keep placing orders all day, every day, whenever you fancy something. Even if I just fancy a little, I just want some glue dots. They're only £2, but I don't want to pay £3.95 postage. It's fine. I'm a Freedom member. You can do that as many times as you want to. There are no glue dots over there, but you get what I'm saying. It's brilliant. Your overall saving, £87. I know. And can I just say, Lou made a very good point, actually, in between us pre-recording the 8 o'clock hour and coming here to do the live 6 o'clock hour. Confused you won't be. When you see the price in one hit, you do think, oh gosh, that's a lot, should I? that feels like a big indulgence and everything else. Can I just ask you to just think about every time you've been into one of those stores that does craft, even if it's a value retailer, and just think about all of the individual elements that are in this, and if they were in retail packaging and in front of you on shelves and whatever, think about individual prices that you would pay. Suddenly that makes that, because it's a mindful thing as well, you think, heck, why not? Why not? How much is a set of golf clubs, by the way? I'm just saying. And I know women golf as well. You know, how much is a set of carpet bowls? Do you know what I mean? We're approaching, really? We're approaching 30% of the complete collection. Can I just tell you as well, the complete collection is now the only way you can get the 12 by 12 papers. When the complete collection sells out, that's the 12 by 12 papers are history. So the stock we've got is the stock that we have. But the good thing is, Lou, that you've got this hour, you've got 8 o'clock, which we've already done, I know, but people will see the new show at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow you've got 8, midday and 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you're going to have another 3 hours of playing in the morning, well, tomorrow through the day as well. It's wonderful. And you need it, don't you?
Yeah,
this is brilliant.
You do. What I've done is I've messed about, because I wanted to sort of see about all the different elements I could bring in, and I wanted to bring everything in from the show.
Yeah.
So some of the things like we missed out on are some of the elements in the book. The elements are these rocks. I know and you're like, well, why would I need them? But I was just playing around and just thinking, what a difference these make to just the feel. I'm now creating like depth and texture and different things to it. So even though it's a page folded in half, it's a story now. There's a story. There's also the big flowers as well, and this sort of ties in. If I want it to, it now ties in with this here. So you've got areas that I might want to place some just torn like that. Now it's not enough, but just think about the layers, the edges of your paper. Think about bringing them together, and when you don't just think that you have to put a piece of paper on like that. You don't. Just think about little bits of it. And there's a part here. This is just this paper's stunning.
That vellum is so nice. It's going to be. Do you know what? As much as you should dive in and go for it, I think it's going to be a long time before you actually use that first.
It took me a bit
page.
to do that.
Yeah.
It took me a bit to do that, but look how you can sort of now build up all the other things, the elements.
Could you just shift that glue to one side, Lou?
Sorry,
it's all right, darling. It's
right.
just
So what I'm going to do?
bothering Marcus.
Well, it would do.
It's making his teeth go on edge.
Well, it is a bit, and it's one of them, isn't it? If you've got another way, glue dots or anything like you're saying, of putting your stuff down, then use that. I'm just using this glue 'cause it's quick grab. But I will stamp and paint on top of this because I want it to become part of it. At the moment, it's stuck on. So I quite like this. I have folded it for a reason because I wanted it to still fold in the middle. So rather than mess about, I'll do it now. And I've kept the edge there.
I think, you know, like we talk about this being a mindful journey, and the images are really, really evocative in this. The little character on the left, now that could just take your mind to, it's just taken my mind that there's a statue in Bruges, I think.
Little boy.
Called the Mannequin Peace.
Yeah, I know that one.
And it's a very comical water fountain.
Yes,
and I went there on a school trip, and that's just reminded me of that, because I was talking to you earlier, weren't we? We should turn this little piper boy into a water fountain, and that's where my head was obviously at.
That's
was
the
like to remember
part.
wandering past the Mannequin Peace in Bruges, and of course I was a kid, I was a school kid, so I didn't care about the statue or whatever. It was funny to laugh at because of where the water comes out.
Absolutely.
And blah 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 blah.
Well, that's what they did. I mean, it's tongue in cheek, but yeah, and that's all about this idea of you associating memories with stuff, and that's the bit that's brilliant. You're like, oh yeah, do you remember that? Do you remember that? And it's I think that is priceless.
I can't even believe that you know me. I can't remember what happened an hour ago, and I've recalled that memory from when I was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, whenever that school trip to to France and a day in Belgium was.
Well,
and I remember the name of the statue. Like, how and why would I have to remember that, apart from the fact that it was very, very funny?
But the fact is, the beauty of it is that you have recalled something and all the associations with it, and it's made you feel nice about it, and that's the bit that's important. It's the associations you get with it and all the things that it means to you. And I really like this. You could go mad with this now. We've got some vellum in here, and you know, just rip a piece out. But I also really like having this here, because I think this is quite poignant. I love that window. I think I want to integrate the background and the foreground. So I need to do. That's it. We're finished. You've
got about 40 seconds.
Right. Well, you put that on there.
Yeah.
And then I can't do it. I could put that on there.
No, it's fine.
I'll finish it and show you the finish. But
yeah, unfortunately, we can't continue the story at 8 o'clock because 8 o'clock's already in the can, so to speak. But it is a new show, so please make sure that you are back here for it as well. 30% now approaching the complete collection, and that's in the first hour. Oh, we are there. Yeah, we are absolutely there at 30%. Now, we won't be talking about stock updates in the 8 o'clock show because we pre-recorded it earlier, so we can't do that.
We'll be talking about life.
It would be technically illegal for us to do that, so we didn't. We also didn't talk about sport in any way, shape or form as well. So if you are looking for a bit of an escape from everything else that's going on, or maybe you just can't bear to watch it live because it's too nail-biting, by the way, congratulations Novak as well, because he did the men's final. Yeah, he's got the cup as well for the 5th time, 6th time, whatever it was. Thank you, Lou. We are back together at 8 o'clock, albeit virtually, and then you're back tomorrow morning.
Are you here tomorrow?
At 8 o'clock. Yes, I am, in the afternoon. Yeah, I think we have an hour together tomorrow.
Brilliant.
I think I'm on the 4 o'clock with you, I think.
Hey, that's great.
Which would be marvellous. Love you, darling.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're back together in an hour's time. But you stay right where you are, because we're staying live. I'm going next door to join another Lou.